Little Red Riding Hood, a classic fairy tale. Read by Beverly Chen. Welcome to Thimbleberry Stories, where warm and cozy tales await you. If you love gentle bedtime stories that make you feel as warm and cozy as visiting Grandma, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a new adventure. Now, get comfy, pull up your favorite blanket, and let's begin tonight's story. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village near the edge of a great forest, there lived a sweet and kind-hearted girl. She was loved by everyone, but no one adored her more than her grandmother. One day, her grandmother sewed her a beautiful red cloak with a hood, and the girl loved it so much that she wore it everywhere. Soon, everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One bright morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother packed a basket with fresh bread, sweet butter, and a jar of honey. "Your grandmother is feeling ill," her mother said. "Take this basket to her and keep her company. But remember, stay on the path, don't talk to strangers, and go straight to grandmother's house." "I promise, Mother," Little Red Riding Hood said cheerfully. She put on her red cloak, picked up the basket, and set off through the forest. The forest was bright and full of birdsong. Sunlight dappled the path, and flowers swayed gently in the breeze. As she walked, Little Red Riding Hood saw a patch of the most beautiful wildflowers she had ever seen. "Grandmother would love these," she thought. She stepped off the path and began to pick a small bouquet. Just then, a deep, smooth voice interrupted her thoughts. "Good morning, little girl," said the voice. Startled, Little Red Riding Hood turned to see a large gray wolf standing among the trees. He had golden eyes and a sly smile, but his voice was friendly. "Good morning, Mr. Wolf," she replied politely. "And where might such a sweet little girl be going on this fine day?" the wolf asked, tilting his head. "To my grandmother's house," she answered, "to bring her some food because she's not feeling well." The wolf's ears perked up. "How kind of you! And where does your dear grandmother live?" Little Red Riding Hood, thinking nothing of it, pointed down the path. "At the end of this road, just beyond the 3 large oak trees." The wolf smiled wider, revealing his sharp teeth. "What a good granddaughter you are. I won't keep you. Do enjoy your walk." With that, he trotted away, disappearing into the woods. But the wolf was not simply going on his way. He had a plan. Taking a shortcut through the trees, he ran as fast as he could, reaching grandmother's cottage far ahead of Little Red Riding Hood. He knocked gently on the door. "Who is it?" called grandmother from her bed. "It's me, grandmother," the wolf answered in a high, sweet voice, trying to sound like Little Red Riding Hood. "I've brought you some food and flowers." "Oh, how lovely! Come in, dear," grandmother said. The wolf pushed open the door and leaped inside. Grandmother gasped, but before she could cry out, the wolf grabbed a long scarf from a chair and tied her up tightly. He carried her over to the closet and placed her inside. "There now," he chuckled. "Rest for a while, grandmother. I have a visitor to surprise." Then he put on her soft nightcap and her nightgown, climbed into bed, and pulled the covers up to his chin. Not long after, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at the cottage, humming a tune and holding her basket of food and flowers. She knocked on the door. "Who is it?" came a hoarse voice from inside. "It's me, grandmother. I've brought you some treats and flowers." "Come in, dear," the voice rasped. Little Red Riding Hood stepped inside and found her grandmother in bed, looking very strange. The room was dim, and the wolf had pulled the covers up high. Little Red Riding Hood hesitated. Something was very wrong. "Oh, grandmother," she said slowly, "what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my dear," said the wolf. "Oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear." "Oh, grandmother, what big hands you have." "The better to hug you with, my dear." She took a step closer. "Oh, grandmother," she whispered, "what big teeth you have." "The better to eat you with, my dear," the wolf roared, throwing back the covers and leaping out of bed. Little Red Riding Hood screamed and ran toward the door, but at that very moment, a loud knock sounded outside. Bang, bang, bang! It was the woodcutter from the village. He had been passing by and heard the wolf's terrible voice. Bursting through the door, he saw the wolf lunging at Little Red Riding Hood. With one great swing of his axe, the woodcutter frightened the wolf, who let out a howl and sped out of the house, disappearing deep into the forest, never to be seen again. Little Red Riding Hood, still shaking, looked around. "Where's grandmother?" From inside the closet, a faint voice called, "I'm in here." Little Red Riding Hood rushed over and flung open the door. There was grandmother, a little shaken, but unharmed. Little Red Riding Hood untied her, and Grandma stepped out, hugging her granddaughter tightly. "Oh, my dear girl, what an adventure we've had." That evening, as they sat together with the woodcutter, with warm tea and sweet bread, Grandmother said, "Remember, my dear, always listen to your mother's advice. The woods are lovely, but not everyone in them is a friend." "I promise," said Little Red Riding Hood. And from that day on, she never strayed from the path again. The end. And now, dear listener, it's your turn to rest. Close your eyes, snuggle up, and let the stars twinkle just for you. Tomorrow will be a wonderful day, perhaps even an adventure of your own. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep well. If you enjoyed this classic fairy tale, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Thank you so much.